William Wordsworth. I have just finished writing this letter to my close neighbour Samuel Taylor Coleridge at this time of lockdown. I wrote, Dove Cottage, 17th of June 1801. My dearest Coleridge, once again I find it is my painful duty to write to you during this outbreak of the smallpox that has so confined not only our physical beings but also our poetic imaginations. I must first raise issue with you at your insistence that you self-isolate with my sister, my wife, and myself for the duration of the quarantine as advised by the King's loyal leech applier. Although to date this arrangement has only pertained for a week, it is most inconvenient, and your frequent remarks about a very different sort of pox, which you seem overly familiar with, cause great offence amongst the womenfolk of my household. I suppose I must thank you for bringing provisions, although I would question the need for quite so much laudanum, and perhaps this could be reduced in the next grocery requisition. I must also raise the issue of your consuming many of the supplies early the next morning after your arrival at Dove Cottage. You cited the munchies as the cause of your incontinent gluttony. I refer especially to the wine, which Mr. Waitrose of Kendal has gone to particular pains to source for my household. On another more delicate matter, it is noticeable that you regularly breach the statutory 2 1/4 yards exclusion zone that must be maintained between your person and that of my sister Dorothy. If the denizens of London can keep the length of Westminster Bridge between them, I do not see why you should not be able to maintain discipline in a like manner. I would also be most grateful if you would keep the same hours as the rest of the household. Your hammering on the door at 3 o'clock this morning, presumably after a surfeit of laudanum, disturbed us all. The kitten is still up the chimney, and the hens are giving cause for concern. Yours in fellowship, William Wordsworth. P.S. I have acquiesced at your request, nay, constant harping, that I write a poem about the cluster of wretched daffodils we saw on our perambulations last month. As you well know, I detest daffodils, and they cause me great distress due to my allergies. The poem is now complete, and a very dull piece it is too. I can only hope and pray that future generations hence will not think it typical of my muse, or hold it worthy of note. In a similar vein of honest, yet constructive criticism, I am vexed that you used much of our supply of privy paper on your extended work about the wedding guest and the seagull. Frankly, it could do with a good edit, as, like the unfortunate sailors who are the subject of the narrative, it appears becalmed for most of its extensive length. I trust you will take this in the spirit in which it is intended. William Wordsworth.